Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the St. Mark's Kids Chat. We don't have Max with us today, so it's just me and Sawyer, and we are going to go into Mark chapter 10, verses 46 through 52, and it's about when Jesus healed a blind man. So Jesus performed a ton of miracles, right? Mm-hmm. Which ones do you remember? We've done a ton the last couple weeks.
He calmed the storm.
Yep, calmed the storm.
He saved a paralyzed man.
Yeah, exactly. He helped heal a paralyzed man. And so this week he's going to help heal a blind man. So they were in the city of Jericho. And do you remember when Jesus comes to town? Mm-hmm. What usually happens? A large crowd, a huge large crowd of people come around him. And so this large crowd and Jesus and his disciples were actually getting ready to leave the city. And a blind man named Bartimaeus was sitting on the roadside. And he was like, "What's going on? I hear all this shouting. What's everybody so excited about?" And he heard that it was Jesus who was walking through the streets. And so he said to Jesus, "Son of David, have mercy on me." So he was using the words "son of David." Why do you think he was using the word "son of David"? What do you think? Know. Well, in the Bible, it says that the Messiah, right, will come from the line of David. So if he is referring to Jesus as the son of David, does it show that that Bartimaeus actually believes that he's the Messiah? Mm-hmm. It does, right? So it shows that he believes and he has faith in Christ, right? So all these people were like shushing him, like, "Oh, be quiet, Jesus is coming by. Don't be shouting at him," and all of that. But Jesus stopped. He stopped and he said, "Call him." And so the people said, "All right, cheer up, man, go on over and get up on your feet, and he's calling you over." So Bartimaeus jumped onto his feet and walked over to Jesus, and Jesus asked, "What do you want me to do for you?" And so the blind man said, "Rabbi," remember what does rabbi mean again?
Like teacher.
Teacher, right? "Rabbi, I want to see." And so Jesus said something very important to him. He said, "Go, your faith has healed you." So what does your faith mean? What does faith mean?
You're believe in Jesus, your faith in him?
Yes, exactly. So his faith, the fact that he believed that Jesus was who he says he was, that he was the Messiah, right? It shows that his faith helped heal him, right? Mm-hmm. So pretty amazing. And it was interesting too that Jesus was kind of on a mission. He was leaving the city to go and do more ministry, but it shows that he stopped, right? Because he heard our cry, right? Or he heard Bartimaeus' cry, right? So does Jesus do the same thing for us? Yeah. Does Jesus stop what he's doing? He's on a very busy schedule. He is only overseeing the entire universe and the world, but he hears us, right? And so, do you think that the blind man was pretty desperate? Like, "Oh, I have an opportunity and I believe that this man can heal me." And so he pursued him, right? And so he said that your faith has healed you. And he received sight, and guess what the blind man did after that?
What?
He followed Jesus along the road. So as soon as he could see, he went with Jesus, right? Mm-hmm. So it shows us that, the blind man, he responded to Jesus in return, for being able to see by following him, right? Mm-hmm. So should we do things like that? If Jesus responds to us, how should we respond to Jesus?
By believing him?
Yeah, believing in him, following him. When you follow Jesus, what does that mean?
You believe that he died on the cross.
Right, and you're doing the things in your life that he wants you to do, right? Yeah. So we have a little demonstration here today. So Sawyer and I have a little piece of paper, the little 3x5 card, mm-hmm. and one of them has an X and an O on it. So Sawyer, I want you to flip it towards you now, and I want you to have the X on the left side, okay? Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is we are going to demonstrate something. I want you to hold it in your right hand and cover your left eye, and close this eye completely too. Keep this one open, close this eye, okay? Cover your left eye and hold it all the way out, okay? Now I want you to only look at the X. So we're looking at just the X part of it. Your eyeball is, this right eye is only looking at the X. Don't look at the O, okay? So I want you to hold out, close that left eye, only look through the right eye, and then slowly bring it towards you, only looking at the X. And notice if something happens to the O. Go slow. Do you see it? Do you see it?
No.
Does the O disappear?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hold it out slow. Once you get about 8 inches,
8.
you bring it slow, and then it slowly, and then it comes back, right? Once you get it closer to your face. But there's about 8 inches away from your face or so, you will have a little blind spot, and it makes that O looks like it disappears. Pretty amazing, right? So the reason we did this demonstration today, and you guys can do this at home, what you want to do is you want to get a 3x5 card, write an X on one side and an O on another, and make sure that it's about 2.5 inches away from each other. And then you hold it arm's length out like this, and then you slowly bring it towards yourself, only looking at the X. And then once you get about this far away, about 8 inches away, the O is going to disappear. And then if you bring it closer, it reappears. But then once you get it to about that 8-inch mark, it disappears.
It appears.
Pretty crazy, right? And the reason why it does that is that inside of our eyes, on our retina, we have all these sensors that sense when the light is coming in. And once the light is coming in, it sends a signal to our brain, which shows us the pictures and the things that we're seeing in our world right now. And so the place where the optical nerve and the retina meet is called your blind spot. So there's that one area right there, and you have to do it kind of, you have to do it kind of slow, but you end up seeing a little blind spot. So we're talking about that blind spot here right now because obviously Jesus healed a blind man, right? But in our lives, even though we're not blind like that man was, can we be blind to our own sins sometimes? Yeah, we sure can. So we can ask Jesus to reveal those things to us, right?
Like
Some of the things, like see how the O sometimes comes in and out of your sight. So sometimes we don't see our sin, and sometimes we don't realize it, and we need to ask God to reveal it to us so that we know how to avoid it in the future, right? So our lesson today was just really about following Jesus, being able to ask him to reveal our sin to us, as well as being able to follow him on the road with him. So, all right, everybody, we'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.